Hello world, Ijoma O'Neill is my name. I've reached a point in my life where I'm looking back and thinking to give back what I thought I should have had. All my life, I wish I had someone who talked to me, held my hands through the stages. I would have done better than I did right now. And so I think I hold it back to my younger self to have a conversation. And the On Purpose podcast gives me that platform. While talking to my younger self, you're listening to our conversation. And I believe it can help you wherever you are in your 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm 52 right now. And I intend to talk this way as I get old. So the seasons will change. The conversations will get more intense. But I know that I've lived enough to give you certain nuggets that will help you in your life, building your faith, building your career, building a loving family, making you healthy, and also investing wisely. I hope that you follow us through this conversation on the On Purpose podcast and it will be useful to you. God bless you. Hello, people. This is On Purpose podcast. Ijoma O'Neill sitting in here, and I am doing a continuation on the episode for, what do I even call this now? But I talked about men and how to build a purposeful family, and now I want to talk about the women. And talking about the women, the same thing applies. In society, it's almost like I ask people in my congregation if they've been raised by a mother. And I'm talking about somebody who gave birth to you. Many times, our love for our parents overshadow our objective reasoning to evaluate them if they were really good fathers, good men, or even good mothers. But my podcast is not to cast blame on the generation before, because if you continue to do that, you'll be blindsided and you will not even know that you are getting old and probably not even filling the gap. What you thought you lacked, you are not giving it back. But I believe that women play a very significant role. It's interesting that out of observation, I notice in the Bible many times that it says, a wise woman builds her home, a foolish one with her own hand she destroys it. Talks about better to live in the top of a roof by one corner than to live in a house with a brawling wife, or to live by the beach or by yourself than to live with a stubborn or troublesome woman. Everything woman, woman, woman. So it's important also to understand that the man and the woman are partners in God's project to bring about godly family and proliferate the love of God in society. So while it is very important that the foundation of society or family, which is the man, is firm and strong, it is just as important that the partnership for leadership, which now is constituted by the man and the woman, is also an improvement on the first. I say this because many times you look at marriages and sometimes you look at a marriage and you think that this good man unfortunately married a bad wife, or this good woman by some stroke of luck or some kind of thing fell into the hand of a bad man. It's not about morality. It's about leadership. Your intentions can be noble, but if you don't have the capacity to lead, then you're going to make compromised choices. We call them good men or women because we're only looking at their disposition in terms of attitude. You think if somebody is peaceful, then they are good. Somebody can be peaceful who lacks the capacity for leadership. And somebody can be outspoken who also have the capacity for leadership. So it is ultimately about leadership. Like I said, if you do well in leadership, 80% of the job is done. If you're a good leader, you can be a good businessman, a good father, a good pastor, and the rest of it, because leadership will be required at all levels. So if a man at the 5 level of leadership is supposed to first lead himself to become the man, ultimately, the woman starts, if she wants to build a godly family, purposeful family, she starts first by leading herself. It's interesting that the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And you'll be wondering, what does the Bible mean by finding a wife? Can you just go out there in the street and meet a woman who's already married? No. I think the Bible is actually highlighting the virtues that makes a woman a wife, not necessarily a marital status, because to find a wife, it means it's somebody's wife. But it's talking about the woman who's unmarried, but who has the attributes of a wife. So it starts from personal leadership. You don't need to be in a relationship to be a woman, to outgrow these girlish tendencies. I'm not saying become old and antiquated in fashion. No, I'm saying become mature in reasoning, become stable in your person, become futuristic, think long term. When a man wants to choose a wife, if it's truly a man who's well developed, the question he's asking himself in his heart is reproduction. Because if I have a viable seed and I'm considering a soil to plant it, the question in my mind is the quality of the harvest. Knowing that my seed is great, it will be very important to me what soil it is planted in. Because if it's a soil that is malnourished, then no matter how great my seed is, my harvest will be bad. So when a man is trying to marry, it's not about, it's good to be beautiful. It's good to be well educated and all those things. But is this the mother I want for my children? Is this the manager I want for my home? Is this the wife I want for me as a husband? You see, all these layers are the consideration for a true leader as a man who understands that he is a man at the personal level and that he is a good husband at the interpersonal level and that he is a leader at the organizational level, which is the third level, and that he is a father at the transpersonal level and that is a matriarch at the transgenerational level. I just outlined my 5 levels of leadership development to you. Don't get confused by the terms. We're going to pick it one after the other. So first, a woman starts first by being a woman. A girl is ready when she stops thinking like a girl. She is a woman. She's steady. She's self-controlled. She leads with integrity her life. Her beliefs and her character are well aligned. That person is a woman. She may be 15 years. She may be 18 years. She may be 22 years. That's a woman. This is the one the Bible says, for this cause shall a man live and cleave to his wife. So this woman at the personal level, now this is her role, leading herself. And I can't say that too much. Because let me tell you, if you lead at the personal level very effectively, ultimately you would enjoy your own company, even if your husband is busy somewhere else at work. Most people just want to be a part of people's life because their lives are not working. So the first level is leading as a woman. The second level, which is the interpersonal level, is to be a wife. To be a wife. Now, this is adaptation. This is romance. This is where the girl virtues are consciously sprinkled as flowers to make the relationship worth it. But if that's all you are, something is wrong. However, if that's a useful tool to be a good company, a good friend, a good sex partner to your husband, to spice the relationship not as a girl, not as a woman now, which is a steady person, as a wife, your adaptation. Read up on it. Many people get stuck with responsibilities of raising a home that they lose the wife in them. You're a woman first, but you've got to be a wife. You've got to still be flirtish to your husband. Adapt to. I tell people, if your husband say you disrespect him, I want you to read what he calls disrespect, being a woman. I seem to be talking in detail about women much more than I said about men, but that's okay. Now, the second level is being what? A wife. That is the interpersonal level. It's how you get along, how you adapt to the leadership of the man. That's where the romance is. The third level is how you take care of your home. Every woman who also knows how to be a wife and flirt and love on the husband must also know how to be a manager of the home. In the home, he is the leader, but you are the manager. What's the manager's responsibility? Day-to-day running of the affairs of the home. You don't always have to do it by yourself. Your children will eventually become capable of joining you to do it, but until then, that it is done is what is important. Imagine if you run a company and you're out there looking for clients to come home and the office is not open at the right time. You don't have supplies for the office, things you need to work. The offices are dirty. That's exactly when the leader comes home and the home is not taken care of. You are not, therefore, being a manager. The first and most important thing you manage is the ego of the man, of the leader. A wise woman knows how to make the most of the idiosyncrasies and strengths and weaknesses of the leader. That's what a manager does. You are the one in between the leader of the home and the staff of the company or the children, if we had to use that illustration. So at the personal level, you're a woman. At the interpersonal level, you're a wife. At the organizational level, which is the third level, you are a manager. Managing with him while he leads is how you partner in dominion. And at the fourth level, your responsibility is that of a mother. This is where you cultivate your children. This is where you are that example of motherhood to your children. This is where you get into their story, that you inject yourself as their friend, as a part of their life, to both set the example for them and then transition them through stages of life, being involved. Never delegate that to domestic staff and say you're building a career. You can build a career and be successful and build a successful family. You call them. You're calling your friends. What about your children? Call them and talk to them. Talk to them like adults while they're children. And that relationship and conversation will grow. You weave yourself wisely into their life in such a way that when they are gone, you are still a functional part because you worked at it. That's being a mother. And then you can transition ultimately to the last role, which is being a symbol of family across generation, which is you becoming matriarch. If you have done your job well at the first, second, third, and fourth level, then transition into their grandchildren, where they now come home and they talk to you about challenges they're having with their husband or challenges they're having with their children. And you can pull up from the resources of your experience and give them counsel that they will value now because you participated when you were playing mother role. And then you can be a matriarch and your work and name can resound down the corridors of time to your third and fourth generation. I'd like to stop here. I hope it's useful to one woman out there. God bless you.